Alright everybody, welcome back to the Chaos Terminal. Today on the channel for you, I got a review of my custom ARC-170 model. This was built off of the modern ARC-170 design, and then updated it per all of your guys' specifications. So let's take a good look at this thing. Now when I bought this original set, I liked it enough. I thought the shaping on it left quite a bit to be desired though. So you can see I've done a little bit of modification to it. So we'll start by looking at the wing design. Let's use this side as our frame of reference. The original wing came to about here, and then it looped around like that, and it connected all the way back to here. What I did is I extended it all the way to here, and then I added in this little shape here, which is pretty close to how you see it in film. Technically, this part would extend down like that, but it's Lego. You get as close as you can. On the little small wings that open up, I went ahead and added in the little cutouts, let's call them, little windows. And then I just went with a square shape, even though they're supposed to be a little bit larger in universe. I'm not trying to make an exact one-to-one, I'm just trying to make as cool of a model as I can. I think the most striking feature is going to be those yellow windscreens. I fell in love with the V19 Torrent model from last year, and its yellow windscreen just really inspired me to put them on all my vehicles, so that's going to be a consistent trend. The next part I modified, let's look at the nose. I shortened this bad boy by about a stud. So there was two sets of 1x2 tiles right here, and that extended this out a little bit. This white piece with the sticker came forward one, and all I did was shorten it, and I think that looks much nicer. There you go, you can kind of see the proportions on it. Next up, I did modify these guns. So there used to be a spring-loaded shooter in here, and that was not it. I also made the thing quite a bit larger, and I added that yellow accent. You'll see that on all my vehicles as well. That one, the little yellow accents, it's inspired from the 501st Specialist Battle Pack. The AV7 cannon had a little spot of yellow on it. I thought that looked neat. The original mechanism for opening the wings is the same, just simple Technic push, like so. Yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite models. I really appreciate all the advice I got in the comments too, as far as shaping goes. I feel like we really nailed it. Let me see if I can back up the camera enough to show the shaping better. Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty in frame. I'll angle it just a little bit like so. What do you think? Do you feel like I nailed it? Now, one thing people do ask me all the time about is why I intentionally make things less accurate. The answer is simple. I'm not trying to recreate Star Wars. I'm trying to have fun playing with these toys. For me, something like a yellow windscreen makes it more enjoyable, even if it's less accurate. And these little guys, for example, the Phase 1 pilot, this was my favorite guy from Star Wars for years. My very first Lego set was that 2009, well, no, let me rephrase that. My very first Star Wars Lego was that 2008 V19 Torrent that had one of these bad boys in it in the old school style. And I loved that set. So now that I'm building my own Grand Army of the Republic, I like to use these guys for my pilots, even if it doesn't line up in the timeline. In canon, these guys never would have seen an ARC-170. They would have been phased out probably along with the V19 Torrent that got replaced with the Z95 Headhunter that got replaced with the ARC-170. So they're pretty far divorced from being screen accurate. The other biggest request I got in the comments, besides the shaping of the wings, the snout, and the guns, was that they wanted these pilots to sit as upright as possible. Now, I feel like I nailed it with these two. They're pretty upright. This guy sits in there loose because I had to pull the plates out that held that part in place. So now he's just sitting in there loose, but this guy's held in with studs. That means you can't really pull him out as easily. I nailed it on those two. This guy's still at a little bit of a lean. You can kind of see if I do this number. Yeah, he's leaning back, probably about a 45-degree angle. I can't do him forward any more than that. Here's why. I guess that was the same angle. Just the screen doesn't fit. And I checked under here. I could change that white plate to give him an extra plate of height. I'll show you here. That white plate that he's sitting on. But for structural reasons, I chose not to. It was worth it for me to have the one driver leaned back a little bit to make sure that this thing could be, let me focus, to make sure that this thing was still fully playable, swooshable, that it wasn't going to fall apart as I handled it. All right, well, that's pretty much all I got for this video. This has just been my review of my ARC-170. I call this a mod. It's not technically a mock because I started with an official Lego set and then just modified it until it looked how I wanted it to. As part of our series of building every vehicle in the Grand Army of the Republic, this is a worthy entry in my opinion. I think this might be better than any of the ARC-170 Lego sets that have been released, but that's just me. Mocks usually, I think, are a little bit nicer than sets are. If you are new to the channel, consider subscribing. It means a whole lot to us, and it's going to guarantee that you'll see all the rest of my creations as we go forward. Remember, we are building every single vehicle in the Grand Army of the Republic. I'm either going to build it in real Lego like this, or in Lego Fortnite, which is a very fun building game if you haven't given it a try. Either way, thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing today, and we will catch up with you next time. Bye.